decide when you want to go big nickel versus base versus regular nickel?
Every game's different. Depends on what they're doing out of certain personnel groups, what we feel the game will be like. So it's week to week from a game plan standpoint, and that can shift once we're in the game.
What do you like about having been out there?
He's versatile. JP, he can play multiple spots. He's good in man coverage. He's a really good blitzer. He's good in zone coverages. He's a physical player, so he's been he's really good in that regard.
How did you feel Nick Martin did in his first action linebacker?
I thought he did good. I think it was like 14 snaps. Had a lot of production. Had one play that I'm sure he wishes he had back also. But for a first time out, I thought it was pretty good.
His only week practicing at strong side linebacker.
No, he's been doing it. Playing Sam. Once you get out of training camp, you're playing everything. So he does everything except for the mic.
How hard is it to switch mics mid-game, and how do you feel Curtis Robinson did?
I thought he did a really nice job. Curtis got reps throughout the week, but it is, it's like a quarterback in the league. Your second string quarterback's not getting a lot of reps. It goes to the Mike linebacker or to the starter, and then you got to go into the game, and it just, as much as you prepare yourself mentally, the speed of it kind of goes faster. You're making the calls, you're making the checks, and then you got to worry about the ball getting snapped. So I thought for the circumstances, especially with how he went down and he was dealing with some aches and pains, I thought he did a really nice job.
What was the film session like on Monday? 3 takeaways obviously dwarf everything else, but there was the completions and the yardage, which nobody really likes to see, but it's not nearly as important as getting the turnover.
Yeah, I thought for 2.5 quarters, it was 35-10 with about 12 minutes to go in the game, and I know their last 3 drives accounted for a little over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we called a game that was necessary to win the football game. We're, not to make excuses for our guys, but we're down the 3 DNs, we're down linebackers, we're down people. So it was keep the ball in front, get the clock to 0 as fast as we could.
Robert, 2 weeks ago, you guys blitzed Stafford and the Rams like 55%. It was like the most in a decade. And then this last week, you only blitzed like 12%. Was that because you didn't like the way you guys played the week before, or why the 2 distinctive plans?
It's all part of feel. Sure, we called man or man pressure 4-6 times in the game, and last week, and we gave 4 explosives. So it's and then you get later in the game, and like I said, for a quarter and a half, we were sitting back and just trying to get the clock to 0 as quickly as we could, with the score being what it was. But every game will be independent. We've had games where we blitzed and had a lot of success. We've had games where we blitzed and had no success, and vice versa. So it's like I said, we have a plan, and then it's our job to figure out how to pivot once we're inside the game.
I think what you've seen from Bryce Young so far, obviously he's coming off the best game he's ever had, but just overall, just to look at him, you don't look at him as being maybe a prototype number 1 at 5'10" and and the size and everything. But it seemed like everybody was pretty convinced he was worth a number 1, and he's looking like it now. What do you see?
Yeah, I see a young man who's developed and has grown year over year. I think Canales and his staff have done an outstanding job developing him. I think the organization has done a great job building the roster the right way. And you look at a guy like Bryce, they do a great job putting him in position to be successful. But for him, he's also a really, really good processor. What's underrated about him, I do think he's as tough as nails. He takes some shots in that standing back there sometimes, but he'll stand in there. He delivers strikes, and he's definitely an ascending quarterback.
What are your realistic expectations for your pass rush, given the players you've lost along the way?
The expectation is no different whether you have, no matter who's out there. It's to step on the gas and give us everything you've got. And I know Jacoby was getting rid of the ball pretty good last week, and again, it was easy. They were taking a lot of things underneath, which we were giving them. But yeah, our expectation doesn't change. We expect to win our one-on-ones. We expect to take advantage of our opportunities. We expect to be relentless, violent, and play with elite strain and effort. And that's the expectation. And if you can do that, we feel like we'll have a good result.
Robert, this team has good tight ends as well. 3 of them, and they use them differently. What do you see from their usage of tight ends? What do you think of those 3 players?
Good players. And they do a really nice job of mixing up their personnels. Obviously they're mostly 11 personnel, but they will get multiple. They'll throw 13 personnel out there. They'll work some 12 personnel. But it's a good trio of tight ends, you know. And I know the rookie is getting a lot of attention, but they've got some weapons. The back is really good, you know. So it's overall it's a really young group and a group that's ascending. But you know we've got to be prepared for anything that they throw at us with regard to those three tight ends and the different personnel groupings that they can give us.
In last year's season opener, Christian McCaffrey was a surprise scratch about 90 minutes before you guys played the 49ers. Can you share with us your kind of reaction, how the team reacted to that news? Did you know that that was a possibility? And I mean, no, Christian McCaffrey would seem to be a good news for a New York Jets defense.
Looking back at it, I kind of wish he played because Kyle would have thrown the ball more. But instead, he pounded it for 41 times, I think it was. You know, we kind of had an idea. We were prepared either way. You know, we had our game plan, and, you know, we were able to – and I thought our staff, Jeff Albrecht and the staff, we did a really nice job pivoting. You know, credit to Kyle. He stuck with the run game. He ran the heck out of it, and I thought they did a really nice job getting into third manageables. And credit to J.P. Mason. I mean, that's – if people didn't know who he was, I would like to think that game kind of woke people up. He's a hell of a back, and he played a heck of a game. But you know, whenever a star player like Christian is ruled out, yeah, it changes only because of what he's capable of, both in the run game and pass game. Different if it's just the back who's first and second down. He might be a hell of a back, but it really doesn't change how the coordinator is going to call the game. Where Christian clearly changed the way Kyle was going to call the game. But, you know, so there's sometimes you almost wish that they do play, so you have your game plan and you can go attack it and you know exactly what you're going to get. But whenever you lose a star, like San Francisco did, then the variables become more.
When you were in Seattle, did you, maybe you guys were too young to even think this, but did you look at Canales and say, I can be a head coach, or were you just trying to make your way at that point?
Canales is an outstanding – first off, an outstanding human. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to interact with him, but he's an outstanding. Him and his family are fantastic. And, you know, we were both QCs. Obviously, he was on the offensive side of the ball just trying to find our way. And, you know, he's always been a team-first servant, never looking for his next job, never looking for opportunities. And I think he's one of those guys that when the opportunity showed up, he took it. He's made the most out of every opportunity he's ever gotten. And he's a heck of a football coach, and you can see it in the way this team is developed. I mean, give him and Dad Morgan a lot of credit. You know, this organization was in the dumps not so long ago, and they are slowly climbing out, and they're building it the right way. And you know, so it's pretty cool to see.
The last one, the stout horse bubble at the one. They had Alfred and Collins do that at the one. Bosa had the strip sack inside the 10 in the season opener. What does that tell you about your guys' ability to defend down there on the goal line and go for the ball?
You know, there's an old saying: it's a blade of grass. Just give us a blade of grass, and we'll do our best to defend it. And you know, I think our guys they represent what this organization preaches. It's elite strain all the way through the whistle. And you know, Alfred's play was unbelievable. Bosa's was unbelievable. Even Upton's at the very last second, his technique through the down wasn't perfect, but he fought all the way through. And it's what we talk about when we talk about the makeup of the people in that locker room, and the way Kyle and John go through the process to select these young men and who gets to wear a San Francisco 49ers helmet. They're made of the right stuff, and those are the individuals who will strain all the way through, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the down and distance is, no matter what the score is or where it's at in the game. We've got a locker room full of individuals that are going to do everything they can to win every down. All right, thanks, guys.
But why, you guys have run it better, it seems like the last 6 weeks, maybe since the Tampa game. Is it just the return of Kittle? Is it the health of Pooney? Is it the fact you guys are running a little bit more gap, a little less zone?
I think, yeah, it's a lot of things. It's not one thing. It's continuity, you know, with the guys who've been back. We've had Kittle back. We've had some more consistency at guard past couple weeks. We've gotten better, you know. I mean, I think through, as the year's gone on, you know, through practice, we've gotten better at running the ball, more consistent. The way some of the games have gone, we've been able to commit to it a little bit more, like the Giants game, this last game. So it's a lot of things, you know. It doesn't mean by any means it's perfect, but we got to keep going and look at it week by week and continue to try to improve in the run game. Because if we can run the ball, stay on the field, and we're going to have some successes in offense. So.
You guys have been really good in the red zone in the last 5 games in terms of converting that into touchdowns.
Mhm.
Can you just take us a little bit into when Kyle's calling plays, or how you guys are dialing up these plays in the red zone, whether there's a little bit more enthusiasm this year than there was maybe last year when things weren't going as well?
I wouldn't say that. I think it's, guys have executed, pretty well down there these past couple weeks. We've made some plays. I think Brock made a really good throw last week in the red zone. We've been running the ball a little bit better down there. It's never one thing. It's not like our plays are better, or that we've come up with better plays. I think it's just, we've caught some of the coverages that we scouted a little bit. There's times when you get down there and you catch a coverage like, man, we didn't expect that, and the play you have just wasn't the right play, and you hope someone makes a play, but it doesn't work out. We've gotten fortunate in that regard. Thinking about last game especially. So it's just, guys being on it, quarterback executing, running the ball a little bit better. All those things add up to me to red zone success. So I think that's what it is.
The shared arrangement at guard between Burford and March, how is that working out? I mean, normally offensive linemen go.
Mhm.
Every once in a while it happens.
Yeah, I think it's been working. We kind of take it week by week, kind of see where they're at in practice. I think the way the games have gone, those guys have benefited from being in there, getting in a rhythm, and then getting to come out for a little bit and just kind of see the game a little bit differently, take a break, let the other guy go in and play. That can help guys sometimes. That can help guys kind of, whatever it is mentally or whatever, it can help a guy play better, more consistently if he knows, hey, I got a guy coming in and I can kind of take a breather. But it also depends on the game. I think back to some games where we didn't get in a rhythm and we just kept guys out there. And so if we're playing good and we're running the ball, I think hopefully we have that consistency with, rotating those guys. But we'll just kind of see how each week goes.
Do they
So.
know before the game, like, all right, you're going to go the first 4 series, then you're going the next 4, or is it just like you start the one guy and then tell the other guy to stay ready? You're going to go.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's we don't predetermine how many drives or whatever, but we give them an idea like, hey, we're gonna, just be ready in a couple series. Just you never know when it's going to change, but he's ready for it.
How hard is it to keep everyone involved on offense when you have a few players who deserve so many touches?
I mean, it's a good problem to have. It's tough. Yeah, I mean, you want to get everyone involved, but it's a good problem to have. You design plays where you think everyone's got a chance to touch the ball and let the coverage dictate kind of where it goes. But that's we're fortunate to have that problem. I wouldn't say I'm complaining about it, but and you want to keep guys motivated. You want to keep guys in it because they think the ball's coming their way. But our guys do a great job of playing unselfish too. They don't really care where the ball goes. They run their routes. They play each play, and they know that the ball's going to be distributed based on the coverages we get. And so, yeah.
When you get to week 12, do you want to meet more with your QCs and your helpers to make sure that you know what your tendencies are when you're
Yep.
putting together your game plan?
Absolutely. We kind of do that every week. We kind of look at, our scouting department does a good job of giving us a report of kind of what we're presenting to the defense and what kind of shows up as tendencies. We kind of do it on our own too. We pay attention to it. We try to offset things every week. We've done this on tape last week. Let's try to offset it and try to show something different. So you always kind of got to have your eye on that. Yeah. Man.
Thank you.
Good, guys. Short and sweet. Appreciate it.